Hey everyone, it's Apache here and welcome back to another episode of Megaquarium, the Freshwater Frenzy DLC. Thank you very much for joining me today and continuing to show your support for the series. If you do enjoy this episode, please leave a like and a comment, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. So today we're going to be carrying on with the breeding process. Got a couple of messages here we need to have a look at. That is, the red striped earth eaters have now grown up. So they are nice and happy in their tank. I wanted to make sure when these grew up that they had no extra requirements that we needed to tackle, and they don't. So that's good. We're going to start off with these, the red striped earth eaters today, and we're going to find out what their breeding requirements are. Oh no, you have to click on that. Okay, so their breeding requirements. All care requirements have been fulfilled. They have one potential mate, so it's 30 chance of finding a mate per day. So they're just going through, it should take an average of 3 days. So we've done everything we need to for these guys. So let's have a look at the blind cave tetras. These are egg scatterers. Okay, trying to form a spawning group of at least 5 animals. There are currently only 3 eligible animals. So we actually need to add a couple more of these in here. So these are the blind cave tetra. We have 3 of them. So we're going to put 5 and I'm going to do 6. So we need a bit more rock in here. So we'll just grab some small rocks and add those into there. So they are now happy. What else is there? Okay, they are now waiting for the right moment. All animals in the group will breed simultaneously, 30% chance of breeding today. So we have fulfilled all of their breeding requirements. Now the Congo tetras. These need light. Okay, so if we come to here, is it in here? Yes, it is. They need the power lights, so we'll put those onto that tank. And now these are egg scatterers as well. So there are currently 6 eligible animals in there. So these are the Congo tetra. We need to add another 2 of those in. And these are now just waiting. So that's good for that. This tank here. These have now actually started breeding. We have 3 different egg sacs in there. So we need more cave in here. So come over to the vegetation place, we'll grab a driftwood cave, place that down at the front here, and they will now be fine. However, if we have a look at these, minus 6% predation. Okay. So what can we do for that? Oh, we did actually have extra in here, didn't we? I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we get rid of one of them, what does that do for these? Minus 5%. Okay, so I think we're just going to have to live with that. So that gives us the report that these have now been laid. Get rid of the growth reports as well. We do have some of this. This is something I got last time. I heard you're looking to breed cardinal tetras. You might need some of these. Fluffy foliage, and plant. So this is the cardinal tetra one. So once these actually start breeding, we will find out what we need that for, but I want to keep it in the message log for now because I don't know how we're going to use it. So we'll keep going here, and a new day has just gone, so let's just see. With these guys, we're just waiting on those. These guys, they're not happy because they have extra things in. This is where that extra tank would have come in handy. To have like a nursery tank where you take everything else out of the tank and just have these guys in there. But I don't think we need to worry about that just yet. So long as one of these survives, we'll be okay for this at least. And this is basically experimentation just to see how many out of, we have 9 on this one, 8 on this one, and 9 in this one. And once the eggs actually hatch, we will have extra requirements once they're babies to actually get them to become into adult fish as well. In this one, again, I think we're just waiting. Yep, a 25% chance to breed. So there is, there we go. We're going to pause the game because I can see a nasty symbol on here. So I actually have 4 egg sacs on this, and these need 1 vegetation in each. So we're actually 10 out of 12 vegetation on this. So for these ones, we can just add some more of this stuff in. We'll do that down on this side. So like that. There's plenty more vegetation in there. And then let's close up all of this. Look at these ones. Oh, okay. We need 10 animals in here, not 8. Wow, okay. So, cardinal tetras, 1 and 2. Can't find a fluffy foliage to breed. There we go. Okay. So, now we have all of those breeding reports. So we can get rid of those. Caleb has leveled up. Getting nice high levels there. And then here we go. This is what we need. So if we place 1 in there and 1 in there. Okay, so that's that. And now looking for a fluffy foliage. 6 free fluffy foliage, giving a 40% chance of breeding today. Now, have they actually been added to here? Yes, they have. Okay. So we can greatly increase the chance if we want. But for now, I just want to keep this going. I want to try and keep it a little bit slower. Just to see how... Well, just basically to be able to keep on top of it all. So we're not inundated with messages and reports and having to do stuff all over the place. We have 3 reports here. So we now have the fry rather than just the eggs for the blind tetra. So these are just worried about the predators. And now we have 4 in that group, we have 3 in that group, and we have 4 in this group. So at least one of these from each group should level up. Okay, we've got something else here. Live cultures. You've just hatched your first fry that eats live food. To maintain a supply of food, you need to use a live culture. So we have live Artima culture here. We've used Artima before, but this is live Artima culture. These work like regular food dispensers, except they themselves require a supply of food. Oh wow, okay. So keep it well fed and the capacity of the live culture will grow, providing even more food for your picky animals. Place the supply of the food the live culture requires nearby. Okay. So pause the game just for a second here because I found we've got more stuff here. So it's these guys which have now actually spawned. So if we have a look at these, 8% chance every day of some of these dying. Other than that, they're okay. We just need food. So we'll close all of this down. We'll have a look at these. So it's just the hatching reports. And get rid of all of those. So now if we come into here, we can grab a live Artima culture, and these require zooplankton. So if we have just back here, have one of those there, we'll bring this across to that side, and we'll add in zooplankton just there. Okay. So now we have food that requires food. So we have food that requires food that requires food. I quite like that. So this is saying it is out. Okay, well I suppose that's because we've only just bought it. We need to actually grow the culture before we can really use it properly. So again now we're just waiting around just to see what happens. Can have a look at these. These haven't really done much. We've got 2 left on this. We'll let a day tick over here. So now we have 2, 2 and 2. And this is on day 2, so as soon as it ticks over to day 3, then these will grow up, and we should get at least 1 out of all of these groups. So let's actually have a look. Let's go down and have a look. And we can actually go into first person mode and see these from this height down here. So we can see what our guests will see. So in here, these guys haven't really done much yet. We may add a few more fish into that just to make it a bit easier. And there we go, there is day 60. Give it a quick pause here just so we can see what's happening. These guys have all grown up into blind cave tetra, so this tank's a lot more full now. Your fixing can go up. And oh yeah, I wanted to delete all of these reports. And now we need some more rock in here as well because we've got more fish in there. However, it does mean that the blind cave tetra have all bred up. We don't actually need these anymore, but we are going to keep them in there. What I do want to do though, able to breed in 3 days. I don't want them to breed though. So what can we do? Okay. So we can just take some of these out now. Now the nice thing about this is if these are actually really quite expensive fish, and they are, I mean 200 for one fish is actually pretty decent. So you can actually make a lot of money from these as well. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take a lot of these out. So there's just 4 of them in there. That means that they can't breed up at all. And now we're going to call this one fully complete. So there is 1 of them actually finished. So let's have a look at these guys. What are these doing? Okay, they can't find any slate. So we need to add some of this flat slate in here. So we'll add 1 and 2, and we'll put 3 of them in there. And we'll unpause that. We are looking, we have a 40% chance of breeding per day, so we should get that fairly soon. And these guys are looking, we have a 40% chance per day again as well. So again, we just need to wait for it to tick over, and it looks like something's happened. Oh. Okay, they've been eaten by predators, they've been eaten by predators, and they've been eaten by predators. However, we do have 1 of them that actually grew up. Okay. So we now have 9 of these guys in here. However, only 1 of them can actually breed. Okay. So we're going to have to wait for 5 days for these to be able to go again. And unfortunately, the rest of them were actually eaten. So what might be best for this one is once they get to that stage, we know that if we take everything else out of the tank, then the babies will eventually grow up to be adults. So what we can actually do is just sell off all the adults, I suppose, or at least most of them. We can try that. So we're going to keep an eye on this tank, and then in here, are these doing anything? These are still just looking. Okay, we'll pause again at the beginning of this day, because you can see this tank has now populated with lots and lots of different stuff. And the red striped earth eaters have also bred. That's brilliant. So we're way on the way here now. So we have all of these reports, we can just get rid of all of those. And we can see if there's any more requirements. First of all, for the cardinal spawns here, we're on minus 10%. So they have a 55%. Oh wow, at the end of the day, 55% of the babies will survive. Okay, so we actually need to take some of these guys out of here now. So what I'm going to do is... Did I actually just sell off some of those? That was a bit silly, wasn't it? Okay, let's have a look now. Let's grab one of these. We're on minus 5. And yeah, it looks like if we get rid of all of them now, then these 65% of the babies will survive. So all we have in here now is the spawn, but they should now have the best chance of growing up and giving us the most possible that we can have in here. Because it doesn't look like they need any of the parents in here. If they do, we can just add a couple more in, I suppose. We can have an adopted family. And then over here we'll have a look at this. We have Earth Eater spawn here. We don't have any predation to worry about. These are going to be fine, 70% per day. And then looking at these ones, these need 10 days before they can go again. Okay, so if none of these ones survive, which they should do, but if they don't, then we may need to get a new pair instead of waiting for 10 days, because that seems a little bit long. So yeah, so now we are waiting for 5 days for these guys. We are just waiting for these ones to grow up, and then we're waiting for these ones to grow up as well. I think I will let time run on for a couple of days because I don't think much is going to happen in between. Apart from these guys. Let's have a look. Oh no, at the end of this day, and we're already in the afternoon, these guys will all grow up. So it's a 2-day turnover for these. It's actually quite fast. And we can see there's 14 left on here. This thing is going to be inundated. Okay, so if we press pause now, they have now hatched. We get rid of all of this. Come to the spawn. They do require acidic. Good water quality is +4. Okay, so we have 9 left there. We have 9 left there. 8, 9, and 8. And this is going to take 3 days. So they should be okay. They should be fine. And then these are still the spawn here. This is going to take another 2 days with this. And then we have all of the reports here. Get rid of all of those. Get rid of all the autopsy reports as well. And okay, so it looks like we need to keep on top of this quite a lot more, because we're actually running out of this. Does that mean there's just too many in here for this one to feed? That might be it. So if we moved that over and grabbed a new one and placed it down just there, that might help. Just so that we're not running out of it every day. Would be quite nice. Coming up to the end of this day, and again press pause. This one has now hatched. Okay, these need green pellets. So the Earth Eater spawn, they require green pellets. There are 4 of them. 72% of the babies will survive each day. So hopefully we'll be okay with that. I really hope we are. So we'll grab some... Where's the... No green pellets left in the aquarium. There's no green pellet dispenser. Is that a bug? I'm going to let this run on and just hope that that is something that will come in at the start of the next day. Because we don't have a green pellet dispenser. I hope these don't die off overnight. Maybe we just need to do this through attrition, if this is a bug in the game. Let me know down in the comments, have any of you found this problem? Nigel has leveled up. You can go for your feeding. Okay, that's lots of information. All the Congo Tetra have... All the Cardinal Tetra have grown. Okay. So let's get rid of those. Hang on, cancel. And then Congo Tetra have bred again. Okay, so let's get rid of all of those. Fred has leveled up. Increase your fixing. So let's just have a look at these ones. We have lots and lots of Cardinal Tetras here. So we've completed this objective now. We have also completed... Oh no, we haven't completed this one. This is the one we needed to redo. So it's good that these have actually spawned again. And so the same as we did with the last lot, these don't need anything, but they are being killed off by all of these guys. So if I now delete all of these Congo Tetra, and now the babies will survive much better without the adults in the tank. We can actually now delete all of these if we want as well for the objective, but I'm going to keep them in for now. And I wanted to see, Fred has leveled up, if we now have green pellet dispensers. No, we don't. Okay. I'm going to ask about this on the Megaquarium Discord, because that seems like a major bug. Wow, you're leveling up very, very, very quickly. So yeah, hopefully these will survive. It missed its last feeding. It will grow up in another 2 days, but no, it's dead. Okay, so we're getting hunger reports. Does that mean that this level is not necessarily completable? I'm not sure what we can do here. Tell you what, I'm going to pause the game here. I'm going to quit out of it for a second. I'm going to ask on the Discord what's going on with this, because we don't have the green pellet dispensers on here. So it looks like these won't survive for 3 days without being fed, and we can't feed them. So I want to get some information about what we can do, and so I can give that information to you as well. So yeah, join me back in a second. So I have now managed to fix this problem. As you can see, now we do actually have a green pellet dispenser in here. So I'm going to add that one in now, and I'm going to show you just how I fixed it. So you're at this point, everything in this is freshwater. We're not dealing with the salt water at all. However, there seems to be a little bit of a refresh bug. Because I came into here and saw that there was no toggle on here at all. But then I came into, I think it was into here, clicked on this toggle, and that shows you all of the saltwater stuff, and then back to freshwater. And so this will toggle between the two. So you can see here, it's all the sea lettuce, eelgrass and kelp and stuff, and then all of that disappears. And then when I came back into this menu, suddenly the green pellet dispenser is right there. So that's basically, it's just refreshing what's in the lists, and then come back into here and it is finally refreshed. So that's how to solve it, but it does mean that I am now going to have to wait for a fairly long time now. Let's see, another 4 days before these guys will be ready to breed again. So in the meantime, we're going to wait for these Congo Tetra to grow up, and they will be tomorrow actually. That's not too bad. There's nothing in the tank which is going to stop them from breeding, so we'll just grab all 4 of these. So I've got those up at the side so we can have a look at them next day. And get rid of all of these reports. By the way, I am keeping the breeding reports up for a reason. I want to see what comes in at the beginning of every day in this. If you want to actually get rid of those, you can come to the main menu here, you can go to options, and then I believe it is interface, and then on the side here you have the animal growth reports, cannot grow reports, autopsy, egg and fry autopsy, destruction, breeding, egg hatching reports, fry growth reports and pregnancy reports here. So you can turn all of these on and off as you want. So if you're doing a huge amount of breeding and you know exactly what you're doing, then you can just turn these on and off as you need to. So that's how you do that. But yeah, let's carry on, and we were going to have a look. First of all, make sure these are all okay. We have 7, 8, 9 and 9 with 3 days to go on those. They should be fine. And then these guys are ready to breed in another 3 days. So once these guys have grown up, as soon as these guys have grown up, these guys should be ready to breed again. So let's wait for that. So that 3rd day has now ticked over, and we can see that these have now turned into Congo Tetras. In this tank, oh no, not that tank, in this tank now, we have 5 of these Congo Tetras. We can see that this has now completed this bit of the achievement here. And then in here we can see that all of these have grown. So we can delete all of those breeding reports, and we can essentially just leave these. They do need to be in a shoal of at least 6 though. So to make them nice and happy, we'll add 1 more in. There we go. However, we want to try and dissuade these from breeding. So to do that, what we can do is take that light out, and now they can't breed. These guys, they need to be in a larger group, so they're not going to breed. That's good. And then in here, these guys need to be in a large group as well, so they're not going to breed. So the only ones that are now going to breed is these ones, these red striped earth eaters, and they are now just looking for flat surface to lay their eggs on. And so there's loads of it in there, but we can actually try and help that out a bit. Let's try and maximise this, try and get this going as quickly as we can. So we'll add in some more of this stuff all the way around there, and that should be plenty now. And this stuff actually looks quite nice actually, the flat slate. And now we can see there is an 80% chance of breeding today, and maybe if we add 1 more in, then is there anywhere we can put one? Maybe just there. Yep. Now they have a 90% chance. So let's hope they do. It'd be good if it can. Because now we have the green pellets. This will be a fairly easy one to start the breeding process on. Okay, so I can see them just there. You can see, and we have a report to say that they have bred. That's really nice. Delete that breeding report, and we were down here at first person mode before, just having a look around. So while we're waiting for the days to tick through, we know that these guys are going to be fine, they're going to be safe, they're going to be healthy, and they should grow up fairly well. Let's just have a look how many there are of them. But 18. There's plenty of them in there. So we'll have a look at the beginning of a new day and see. But you can see how well all of these are doing now. We have a cardinal tetra, we have the Congo tetra in there, we have the blind cave tetras in here, and we have the earth eaters in here. So let's have a look at the beginning of the new day. Flick has leveled up. I've always liked Flick in this game, she's really super fast. And now she's got sneakers on as well, she's even faster. It will increase her feeding again. And carry on the time. These guys are doing fine. We have 4 days, well 3 more days until they become the fry, until the eggs start hatching. So I will let you join me back once they have actually hatched. So it's now ticked over 3 days and we can see that these have now hatched into fry, and we have another 3 days to wait. We've only got 4 of them left though, so hopefully we've got 73% of the babies will survive each day, so hopefully at least one of these will survive, because we only need one to complete the objective here. So yeah, let me wait another 3 days and I'll bring you back if anything happens in between. So we're now halfway through the second day and we have 2 of these guys left, so hopefully one will survive through to the next day. Not long yet now to go. Yeah, and so it looks like we should now be able to complete this entire objective. And I think it will just ding up straight away and say, you have won. So let's watch out for that. And there we go. Okay, so it's automatically paused here. We'll just go to, well, we'll close this for now, we'll read that in a minute. So we will close that. We'll make sure this is nice and well, all of their needs are met in here. So we'll come into this, we'll grab some bogwood, we'll add that down there, and so all of their needs are complete. And now we have, both of them actually survived, so we have 4 of them in here now. We did have 2 before. So yeah, that is this level complete. Let's have a look at the win report. You should be proud. You've led the breeding project here in Paskovka above and beyond the initial expectations of this small research facility. Perhaps you're ready to move to for a more conventional challenge though. So if so, an intriguing opportunity awaits at Baraki. I'm not sure how you say that. Again, let me know down in the comment section. You can continue to build here at Paskovka for as long as you want. This message will stay, blah 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 blah, everything else we know. But no, we are ready to take the job at Baraki. Okay. Level 2 complete. On to level 3. And that is where we're going to end off this episode. Thank you very much for joining me today. If you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like, comment and subscribe on the video and to the channel, and I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting me by subscribing to the channel and liking and commenting on the videos. Thanks. See you next time.